What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Rock Soldier, and today I'm going to be checking out another 21 Pilots song, No Chances, off their latest album, Scaled and Icy. And I can't believe this has gone completely over my head since I've been doing the 21 Pilots reaction. But when I went to go see them in concert, I picked up a hat. So I think it's only right that, I start wearing my 21 Pilots hat for unfortunately the last two songs of the album, because I completely forgot. I'm not much of a camo guy, but we're going to do it anyways, man. So I'm excited to hop in this video, guys. Let's get it. Dragon. Beat's very interesting. Oh man. Right off bat, we have another DEMA song right here. That had to have been the Bishops like chanting right in that chorus.
In my house shoes in a foot race. In this house we got feng shui. Get the door to blow you away. Flamethrower, you a switchblade. Feet planted on grip tape with my shoulders squared and my back straight. Got a good bass and a loose tongue. Notorious in the octagon now.
With my shoulders squared and my back straight, got a good bass and a loose tongue, notorious in the octagon. So he definitely made some like UFC references there, right? With the octagon. Kind of saying he's got like a good posture, like a good fighting stance. Basically, my shoulders are squared. I got a good base. He's also saying I got a loose tongue. Some could kind of like make a reference for anybody who watches UFC. Maybe like Conor McGregor, kind of some trash talk, or just kind of got a loose tongue a little bit. So very very interesting so far. I'm getting some interesting vibes from this song. I want to keep listening though before I dive into anything too deep here.
Feet planted on grip tape with my shoulders squared and my back straight. Got a good bass and a loose tongue. Notorious in the octagon now. We got people on the way. We want you home in one piece now.
Okay, so this, first off, I want to say this is giving me like very like Ode to Sleep vibes, kind of like from that song a little bit, with the different change in the beats and stuff. I love it. Ode to Sleep is a fantastic song, and I'm loving the beat switches here. That like that little humming he does right on the transition there is just beautiful. So kind of at first, you would almost think that like the lighter, happier parting sound would be kind of almost like Tyler talking, right? Almost like kind of speaking from like maybe like the Bandito's point of view, or from his point of view, like a message of resistance possibly. But like the lyrics are not talking about that at all. And one thing I've learned recently, after I've done some of the other reactions, especially after I did the Outside reaction, is that Scaled and Icy is propaganda. And we learned that through when they did their Christmas song, Christmas Saves the Year. I guess on the cover of that photo, they're in like really low opacity text, it says "Psy is propaganda." Now SAI being Scaled and Icy, and then coincidentally enough, the logo, their logo is a Psy, which I believe is spelled PSI, and it's like a weapon. So you kind of get like that double use there. And so maybe that's where we get that a little bit from, is like on the happier sounding parts, it's actually like a trick. Because maybe your mind like naturally likes those parts better, because they're more upbeat and they're more uplifting sounding. But really, in the chorus, you say, we get bodies every day, basically saying, we get people every single day, and we want you home in one piece now. Kind of saying that we're gonna we want to come get you, we want to bring you back home. We don't want to hurt you, and we got people joining every day, kind of type thing. And then in the other parts, in the first verse, I think it was, where it's kind of that like that heavier, darker, maybe more dramatic sounding type. I almost think it's maybe like Tyler resisting potentially, or maybe like the banditos resisting a little bit, because we also had that like that runaway part that I probably wouldn't have even noticed if it wasn't for the lyric video, honestly. Right after they said we want you in one piece now, you know, it goes runaway, and I feel like to me that's almost like a chant, kind of like the banditos or Tyler or somebody like that, just trying to get that like low-key message in there, like, hey, don't listen to this. You know, Scaled and Icy is propaganda. You know, it's all lies. Kind of saying that like the bishops kind of picked up on their tactics, and so they're kind of switching it up a little more to, you know, try to be sneaky and ultimately get more people in DEMA.
Every day, we want you home in one piece now. Put together pieces, they say they sell the information. In those terms of agreement, we spent some weekends on the grind. Surveillance is outside, we see when you arrive, ride or die. My son spent some weekends on the grind. Surveillance is outside, we see when you arrive, ride or die. My son.
Interesting. So, in the beginning part of that verse, I think there's a lot to this verse. Okay, so I'm just trying to cover it as best as I can. In the beginning part, they say, how'd you get the location? Put together the pieces. They say they sell the information in those terms of agreement. And I feel like that could be like a reference to the location songs that they did on their Trench album, which I believe was Cut My Lip, The Hype, and Chlorine. So basically saying, you know, how'd you get the location of us? And then they kind of go on right after that is when I think it kind of gets back into like a little bit more of like what the bishops are saying. You know, they spent some weekends on the grind, surveillance outside, which could also be referencing the outs, you know, the song The Outside, but also saying, you know, we have surveillance in those places. So, you know, even, you know, if you do get out, we know when you arrive. And they're basically saying, you know, that they're going to do everything they can to come and get you and bring you back a little bit. So one other thing that I forgot to mention earlier when I mentioned that Scaled and Icy is propaganda, Scaled and Icy, the term itself, Scaled and Icy, is an anagram. And for my big Click fans, I'm sure most of you guys know this already, but if you rearrange the letters of Scaled and Icy, it spells Clancy is dead. And Clancy is like a major character in the DEMA world. So again, with Scaled and Icy being propaganda, it kind of makes me think that Clancy is not dead, but it's just like a secret message to make you think that he is. So this could also be potentially talking about, you know, how'd you get the location to capture Clancy, you know, a little bit, saying maybe he was at one of those locations.
We see when you arrive, ride or die, my son. We got people.
This whole part is very hypnotic too in the lyric video, right?
Home in one piece now. We get bodies every day.
You know, this part right here definitely makes me think like this is 100% like the bishops talking, right? We get bodies every day, and it's right over the Scaled and Icy album cover. Yeah, I personally think like that's like a great symbolization of that. This is the bishops talking.
Every day, we want you home in one piece now.
I think that was Tyler in that photo. Maybe Josh too. And with very hypnotic
people on the way. We want you home in one piece now.
That just hit me right in the chest. That just felt so good.
We want you home in one piece now. We get bodies every day. We want you home in one piece now.
You know, real quick, I wanted to talk about this image real quick. Yeah, I saw this in the beginning of the video, and I'm thinking to myself, is this like potentially like a map of like trench potentially, or something along the lines? But this, then I noticed that it has this C right here. So in the second verse, they say, you know, they sell the information, or how'd you get the location, put together the pieces. You know, they say they sell the information in those terms of agreement. So I think they could potentially saying that someone basically like ratted them out and gave them like Clancy's location, and the C represents Clancy. And this basically saying like this is the map, so this is how they knew where Clancy was, and ultimately captured him, and thus, you know, putting out all this propaganda throughout this whole album. Very hypnotic. They kind of did something in the like similar in the outside too. Whoa! Wait, do you guys hear that? If you'll need headphones to hear this, or like put your TV to max volume. In the background of this beat right here, you almost hear like a very, very high pitched voice, and it sounds like they're saying the same thing that they were saying in the second verse there. You know, we got some surveillance outside, we see when you arrive, ride or die my son. It almost sounds like a very high-pitched version of that, which I think they've done something similar before to that, but I can't remember which song. Right here. We see when you arrive, ride or die. Wow. So that was No Chances by 21 Pilots off their latest album, Scaled and Icy. And honestly, there was just a lot to digest there. So I'm sorry if some of it sounded all jumbled and kind of all over the place. There was a lot to this one, man, and I definitely think it's a DEMA-related song, 100%. You know, with Clancy being captured. This could also be potentially a sign saying that they did capture Clancy, but maybe he escaped, right? And this is kind of the bishop's message saying that, you know, they're going to get Clancy and they're gonna bring him back, and that they don't want to do any harm. At the same time, with all the mix of the propaganda and stuff and the different tones. But as for the song itself, man, I really loved it. I loved the verses. I loved like the choruses and the bridges, like, you know, the different tones in the songs and the transitions. Overall, man, I really, really like this one. There's a lot here. I'm interested to see what you guys think of it. If you guys have any extra knowledge on the whole DEMA situation going on in Scaled and Icy, let me know down below in the comments. And I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please make sure to leave a like, hit that sub button, hit that button that we're dropping the next one. That's all I got for you guys for now. It's your boy Rock Soldier. Hope you guys have a great rest of your night and even better tomorrow. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. All right, guys. Peace.